So this PowerPoint is going to deal with the element of design, space. Three-dimensional art in space. So on the most basic level, three-dimensional art physically occupies space. Alexander Calder created this form or wire sculpture called the cow. And some works delineate forms in space, shaping the intangible into contoured areas. So his cow uses wire to create a humorous depiction of a cow's form with particular emphasis on the udder. In Giovanni's interior of the Pantheon, we see that certain architectural forms define a volume in space by enclosing it. When you view this work called The Hotel by Joseph Cornell, you see that some sculptures actually carve their own small world in a confined space. So he did many works of this sort, and he just built up the compositions using found objects. Sculptures with pointed linear projections may seem to activate the space around them, as if the lines continued for some distance into that space. Check out this awesome work. It's called the one-way tunnel, and it kind of shows that it's possible for three-dimensional art to control us in space. So architecture provides defined rooms, halls, stairways, and ramps that actually guide our movements. Two-dimensional space. The two-dimensional surface is by definition a flat plane referred to as the ground. If a discrete shape is placed upon it, it may be called a figure-ground relationship. I really like this example called legs of two different genders. And if figure and ground are approximately equal in area, artists can create a figure-ground reversal in which either color can be interpreted as laying on top of the other. In general, we tend to interpret figures that are lower on the picture plane as being closer to us in space, and this is known as placement. A device in this painting titled Hunters in the Snow is called scale change, which gives a tremendous feeling of depth to a two-dimensional painting, and it refers to relative sizes. Here's some terms dealing with space. Vanishing point, that's going to be the point where lines converge and just seem to disappear. So we have one point perspective, and the lines converge to, a single set point. We have the horizon line that goes just across the ground and divides the sky and the ground. And then we have the eye level line, and it's very similar to the horizon line, and it's created when you're looking straight ahead. And then we have 2-point perspective, similar to 1-point perspective, only the lines converge to 2 set points. In this perspective artwork, you can see architectural lines. They're just rapidly converging towards an eye level line that's somewhere beyond the doors of this building. This engraving of the Crystal Palace is rendered in precise 2-point perspective. In this work, the artist used atmospheric perspective, where she intentionally made the things in the background to be less sharply defined, more blurred out in forms, hues, and value contrast than forms that are closer to us, because she was trying to get the effect of an atmospheric haze. We're looking at Degas' Dancer with a Bouquet. So in working two-dimensionally with illusions of three-dimensional space, artists also manipulate the point of view. The aerial view is another two-dimensional approach in which the point of view is above the scene depicted, almost like a bird's eye view. Scale. We're accustomed to objects that are life-sized. When an artist presents a familiar form in an unfamiliar size, our interest is often heightened, for the experience is immediately something out of the ordinary. Vast scale is often used to evoke awe and reverence. Here, Charles Oldenburg presents just mundane objects as colossal that are greatly exaggerated in size. So at the other end of the scale of exaggerations are the miniatures. They're artworks that drew us in because they are so much smaller than we would expect. Check out this work and look at the scale, because scale may also be used to make a statement about relative importance of forms within a work. Now we're going to move into spatial illusion. One intriguing way in which some artists work with space is to twist it into situations that seem at first glance to work, but turn out on closer inspection to be quite impossible, given what we know about the three-dimensional world. Check out these fun and interesting works dealing with spatial illusion.